Before they were resto mods.
I want to do something new with the car.
They were showroom new.
The Thunderbird was Ford's personal luxury car.
We're diving into old cars.
It was the truck they rode around in with their grandpa.
Being given new life to compete for the Barrett-Jackson Cup.
Mopar people are probably going to be upset that we cut one of their cars up.
This is the path to performance, presented by Castrol EDGE.
I'm Tyler Nelson, owner of Revision Rods, and rides in Rapid City, South Dakota. The 1969 Plymouth Road Runner, it's normally a unibody car, meaning all the subframe and everything's welded to the body. Well, we reached out to Art Morrison and had them build us a chassis. So now it's a full chassis car, so it has full custom floor pans in it. It's a 1-inch thick floor, so there's actually sheet metal on the bottom and the top with sound deadening material in between it. And then turn to the outside, Plymouth was notorious for having a lot of plastics and stuff like that. I mean, we didn't want a plastic grill in our car. We wanted something that actually was modern and tough looking. So we machined tons of parts on it, custom built the bumpers. We raised the rear wheel wells up, and it still looks like it should have been. We flush mounted all the glass, meaning it normally would have stainless around all the windshields. Well, new cars don't have stainless around the windshields, so we got rid of all that. You had to build the body out to fit the glass, so it's all running stock glass. So it's gonna have all one-off taillights. They're gonna have sequential LEDs. Part of this build, you know, having this big elephant motor and being a full chassis car is obviously the motor was too tall and it stuck above the hood. I think is about 6 inches. Well, we didn't want a 6-inch cowl hood on a Road Runner. We wanted to try and keep what a lot of the Road Runner people find very unique is the hood, how it has the 2 separate vents on each side as part of the ram air setup. So we ended up raising all of that up and then built a cowl hood on top of that. So the hood actually doesn't look like it's raised 6 inches to clear that huge blower, but it's actually raised 6 inches. And then we 3D scanned the hood so we can now machine the vents to look like the Mopar ones, but we obviously tweaked them and changed some angles.
My name's Andy Leach, owner of Cal Automotive Creations in Bennington, Nebraska, and we're taking the 56 Thunderbird to the Barrett-Jackson Cup. The 56 Thunderbird was Ford's personal luxury car. They had a lot of features that most cars did not. The Corvettes were more of a race car, didn't even have roll-up windows, where here you had the Thunderbirds that had power windows, power seats, power steering, power brakes. So Ford was really trying to hit on the luxury thing. 56 came with the side vents in the side. The Continental kit was standard. And then 56, the tops had the optional portholes, but actually most of the cars had them. It's always interesting when you're tearing one of the first year runs of something, and this Thunderbird's a perfect example. Ford was still trying to figure it out. So you see a lot of things where clearly it was an afterthought, or they're trying to still work through the problem as they were producing the cars. So low volume, low production. So just like anything else, they're figuring it out just like we are.
I'm Donnie Hall, owner of Streamline Custom Designs.
And we are bringing 2 cars to the Barrett-Jackson Cup. Grab onto this if we can. A 1966 Corvette C2 Custom Convertible Roadster and a 1953 Chevy 3100 pickup. So Peter Brock designed the C2 Corvette, and you don't have to do much to a Corvette to make them cool just because they were cool from the factory. As far as the trim packages, it wasn't really a big block car that we started with, but we put the big block hood on it. A lot of guys do like the Stinger hood, which is on the 67 split window, and everybody does that hood. So I did the big block hood as something different. I knew nothing about Corvettes until we started building them. And then once I started working on them, I grew a huge appreciation and actually grew a love for these cars. You learn so much about it as you're building. The lines is what does it for me. There isn't really a straight panel on a C2 Corvette. Everything kind of comes in and then swoops and rolls back. The tops of the fenders are just teardrops. Everything on it's just very sporty and like a rocket. The 47 to 54 Chev pickup trucks, very round, bubbly, but a lot of people just really love them because that was their farm truck. It was the truck that they rode around in with their grandpas and stuff like that. So they already have the love for it. So all these guys come and they want to do something, but they want it more custom and put more of a modern twist on them. But I think it's the roundness of those trucks. The grills on them are very elegant looking. They're actually a beautiful truck. They got a lot of beautiful lines on them. And then we just do a lot of just very subtle changes to it.
My name's Tony Army, owner of American Legends, Phoenix, Arizona, and we're bringing a 1966 Chevelle to the Barrett-Jackson Cup. The Chevelle started in '64 and it was very blocky and chunky and shares the same chassis as this model behind us does. But it just got a little bit sportier, swoopier. It got a lot better looking. Whoever designed that one, they had their thinking hat on that day. And then in '68, they had the Camaro at that point. There was no need to have two sporty little cars. I'm probably the wrong person to geek out on this car. We don't do restorations here. We don't take stuff back to the way they were. That's already been done. I want to do something new with the cars.
I'm sure a lot of people would have died to have that matching numbers 440 car, but it was a perfect donor car for us. Mopar people are probably going to be upset that we cut one of their cars up because that's how they are.
Coming up on Path to Performance.
5 years in the making.
Setbacks
You gotta be shitting me.
and triumphs.
I can't wait to see it on the car.
We're following the builds as our 4 shops get ready for the Barrett-Jackson Cup.